Hey everyone, welcome to my craft room. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. I had to pop out and get the clothes off the line. We had a very unexpected rain shower, which now seems to have disappeared to wherever it came from. Anyway, as I say, welcome. Today I'm going to feature the one of my new favourites. I seem to say that every week. One of my new favourites, the Dear Doily stamp set and thinlits, or the bundle if you buy them together. I didn't think much of this one until I saw some videos recently, and I think yes, as I say, become a new favourite. Anyway, so we'll be featuring that today. So I've got one card that I have prepared to within an inch of its life, and I have another card that I'm just going to wing it with, so we'll get to that. Just bear with me, I'm waiting for my iPad to catch up. Cool, there we are. Okay, I'll just sit down. It looks like I'm in the centre there, that's good. So this card here that you can see in the camera at the moment is one that I cased from Pinterest overnight, just to have a little bit of a play. It's slightly different to the one in Pinterest in the fact that I've backed the black with some of the lusciously wonderful foil sheets. This one's actually the lovely lipstick foil sheet from the SaleAbration reward that we've got going on at the moment. So if you've fallen in love with this, as I have, you've got this month to get it free when you spend $90 during SaleAbration. So let me know and I can help you with that. But anyway, I absolutely adore it. So what I thought I'd do for the next card is change this one up a little bit. Still the same sort of process, but I thought I would actually use the Grapefruit Grove foil sheet and a slightly different accent on the box and the flower. So anyway, they'll put that one aside. So I'm going to copy that one, sort of. Just keep watching. Okay, so what I've got here is our normal base card. So I've cut myself a piece of card which is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored it in the middle, and we have our normal A6 size base card. I'll just catch up on some comments. Gail, hi. Hannah, hi. Shirley, hi. Welcome to our team, and Kathy as well. Hi guys. Thanks for joining me. As I say, I was a little bit late because we had an unexpected shower come through. You probably saw that too, Kathy. It didn't last very long. I got all excited for nothing. Anyway, so I'll just pop the base side up away for a little while. I have a piece of the Grapefruit Grove foil sheet this time. So I've cut that to 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. Slightly bigger than I want it in the end, mostly because I'm going to trim it down slightly. So just put that aside as well. I have a piece of black cardstock which will form the beautiful filigree, almost lacy effect on the top once I take the big shot to it. And this is 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, so that's just going to fit on our base card with a very small, a bit hard to see with black on black, but a very small edge around there. Also I've got a piece of white cardstock which is actually the same size, I think. Yep, so that's 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, and that's for the inside of the card. Okay, so we'll start with this one. So you'll see how I'm going to mix up that other card. Yeah, it was about 10 big drops, yeah, just enough to get my washing damp, but I'm sure it would have dried out now if I'd left it there, Kathy. Anyway, so we'll start with this one. So what we're going to use is from the Doily Maker framelits, and we've got this one here, which is a beautiful big doily. I hate that word. It's sort of like something that our grandmothers would have had, but anyway. So this one is very special in the fact that if you use it in conjunction with this edge framelit, you can actually cut it out and just create a doily. But if you don't use it with the edge lit one, you actually just create an insert or a cutout of a doily, which is basically what we've done here, just to cut out the many little segments inside. So I'm going to use that one. I find that with this framelit that you're best to use your metal plate, your precision plate with it. Either that, you have to pass, if you haven't got one of those, you have to pass it through your Big Shot lots and lots and lots of times. So, and I still with this had to pass it through twice, or backwards and forwards. So I'll just bring that into camera. Hopefully I'm not going to wobble too much. So I've got my full plate on there. I've got one of the older multi-purpose platforms. Put my precision plate there. Then my black, which again, making black on black a little bit hard to see. And we're just going to cut this out multiple times. So the first one, I'll pop it mostly on the plate, mostly on the card, so it only sort of peeks off a few little bits on the side. And I'll pop that through. Hopefully it won't wobble too much. It's going to be a bit tense to get through. And then I'll bring it back again. Forgive the wobbles. Hi Joyce and hi Jenny, thanks for joining me. If I missed anyone else that's on. We had a record-breaking day here in Hobart yesterday. We made it to, and Kathy can probably correct me, was it 39.1? It was something like that, something atrocious. Anyway, we had the aircon going obviously, and I slept in about 3 different rooms trying to get somewhere a bit cooler to sleep. But yeah, it wasn't a great night. I don't think it got down below 20. So that one's actually cut out, but I'm not going to bring that out yet because I'm going to end up with bits and pieces all over the shop. I'll just keep going. So the next one, we'll pop it here. So you can see the one we've just done is here. So I'll pop this one just peeking off the edge, make sure I get on my plate, and pop that one through. So we're just going to form like a seemingly random hi Wendy, thanks for joining me. Chrissy Ann and Michelle, hi guys, happy Sunday. I'm just popping that one backwards and forwards again. So that one will just be sort of like peeking off the edge of the card. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that in the light. Then I'll pop another one, making sure that all my pieces have popped out of the actual thinlet. I'll pop another one, say, there. So it's sort of like they snug into each other. So we've got one there, we've got one there. So I'm going to put this one here, because that sort of snuggles into the other two quite nicely. Yeah, hi. Oh yes, Hannah, I did hear about the bad bushfires. Yes, you guys have copped it in Victoria quite badly. I hope everyone, all my friends in Victoria are, oh, excuse the noise, are okay and in one piece. Sounds terrible. Very similar to what the summer we've had down here in Tassie. Okay, so that's that one. Look, I could keep going with that and get all those pieces out now, but you would probably, the whole ground would be covered with, I'll just show you how I'll do that. So continue on, basically continue on until you've covered most of your card. I'll just show you now how I get those little tags out. Just basically use my little wire brush, and little wire brush comes with a foam mat, and you just basically run it, and little bits and bobs go everywhere, but you'll get a good idea of what we're trying to achieve. There you go, they all sort of come out. If you haven't got this, you can just use a piercing tool or a sort of a quilling tool, something like that, or just the edge of your scissors. It does tend to take a long time with these very intricate dies. So there we are, see, bits and bobs everywhere. So let me get rid of that. And that. Cool. Okay, so as you can see, and it goes up nicely on our grid mat here, we've got the starts of of that beautiful doily background, or in this case foreground. So what I'd probably do now is put another one, say there, and then put another one just peeking up from the bottom there, and that would be ready to go. So here's one obviously I prepared earlier that's done completely. So yeah, so you can see they're all beautiful there. So what we need to do now is attach that as a front to our Grapefruit Grove foil sheet. There's a couple of pieces there that should need to come out. There's always a few more. Anyway, so there. So what I thought I might do, you've got several options of that. You can see that you've got mostly space and not much card. You could just go through with your glue and put glue on, you know, the larger spaces that you feel you can. So that would be one way of doing it. I thought I would try, you can buy some glue but not from Stampin' Up that has a little brush, which is also very handy for this. What I thought I might do in this case is, and I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see how it goes, just get a piece of scrap paper. Just get a piece of scrap paper, which is my old grid paper out of my Stamparatus. Thought I'd get a sponge. So this is an experiment, guys. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm going to bloop some glue on the side there. Hopefully you can see that. Get my sponge and sponge the glue on. Not overly thick, because it will sort of will go onto the to the front side, which is where we don't want it. And anyone who watches my videos realizes that glue and I have a love-hate relationship. Hey Susan, thanks for joining me, upstate New York. Great. It's great to have you with us. Typical of an Aussie. I'm going to ask you how the weather is there. You guys are, what, second day of spring now, so the winter will be hopefully a memory for you. You guys have had a pretty crazy winter from what we see in the news. Talk about Arctic blasts and things like that. So how has it been where you are? Yes, Michelle, you and I with the glue, we are as if you put your mat into a wood mount case, you won't get... Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. I don't think I've got any wood mount cases. I'll maybe buy one just for that purpose. Okay, so that's all very, very sticky on the back. So that should work. Let's give it a go. So as I said, I've cut this piece of foil slightly larger than I needed to, given the fact that I knew doing the glue this way I wouldn't have any give. You know, our glue is wonderful in the fact that it usually has some wobble, some give. You can move things around, but with that I knew I wouldn't. That's the method I also use to attach vellum to card as well with the sponge. Okay, so I love this Grapefruit Grove foil sheet because I don't know if you can see that in the camera. It basically has such a, it's almost a holographic sort of look to it, you know, regardless whichever way you move it, it seems to have a slightly different shade. Oh yes, that comes up really well on the film there, guys. Yeah, so that's stuck really well. I'm really pleased with that. It's not too sticky on the other side. What I thought I'd do is get my trusty, and if you don't like non-Stampin' Up products, turn away now, but I'm just going to use my little guillotine, which I feel safe in doing because Stampin' Up doesn't have one. Just going to trim the edges back to that. The Dauber's just escaped. Trim those edges back to so that's just the black, the edge of the black. Oop. There we go. Just one more to go. Forgive the silences. Just wanted to get those edges exactly right. So there we go. So we just have our, oh, excuse me, everything's fallen apart. Hey Angie, thanks for joining me. There we go. So we have our, that's our cover for our card. I think that's quite special. Right, so to decorate that and pop the sentiment on, I thought I'd do something slightly different. This one here has some nested stitched rectangles here in the lovely lipstick and white. Oh, I just wanted to show you guys. I don't know if anyone's actually, you know, if you like value for money when you buy. I mean, most of us do. I just needed to show you the number of stitched rectangles you get when you buy this stitched rectangle framelits. It just blew me away. I mean, look at that. That's amazing. I don't know how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It just seems to be so many there. I think there's 13 or 14. But I challenge you to need a stitched rectangle of any shape or size and not have it there. That's amazing. So yes, so I think for this one I've used a couple of these ones here. But yes, that amazed me when I opened that up as to how many rectangles you actually got when you bought that set. Hey Pamela, thanks for joining me. Okay, so instead of the rectangle this time, I thought we would go some circles. So I've cut out from Grapefruit Grove, got to get that right. I've cut out one of the doilies. And I've got so carried away with my rectangles now I've forgotten where I put my, bear with me, here we go. Oh. Jake, where are you? Oh, here they are. Pop that one away, wherever I've popped it. Anyway, this one here, which is quite sweet. It's sort of the outside of a doily. I suppose so many things can happen on the inside, so I think that's quite lovely. So I have cut that out of Grapefruit Grove, and I have a circle cut from the layered circle framelits. Yep, that fits just snugly in there. If you see, that just fits. I'll pop it at the top. It just fits just snugly in that circle. So I don't know whether I'll put that. I think actually I like it on the outside of that with that Grapefruit Grove just behind. Or you could put it on the outside if you wanted to see all the fiddly bits. I think I actually quite like it there. So that's going to be on that little bit right there. But I won't do that just yet, just giving you an idea of what I'm doing. And then we've got our card base, which will go there. As I said, that's just going to show a tiny little black frame around the outside of that Grapefruit Grove panel. Okay, so what I'll pop those aside for the minute. I'm actually going to do, I am going to maintain the beautiful flower here. I'm going to do one of those. And you see here I've got lovely lipstick at the top, and then I've got an old olive stems and leaves. So that's you have to do that. I've used my Stamparatus. So where are we? Stamparatus, I had it there. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I use my Stamparatus, and I've already got the stamp on there and a piece of white card which I'm going to stamp it with. And to get that effect of, as you can see, it's not a two-part stamp, it's actually got the leaves and the flowers all attached to each other. So if I was just to stamp that, I would just get one solid colour, unless I was being pretty clever. So what I'll actually do, and it takes a few goes, I'm actually going to use my stamping blends. I'm going to colour in my stamp with the blends and stamp them in bits and pieces. So the stems, obviously I've got my dark old olive here blend. Now I don't know whether it's just because it's really warm here at the moment, but you have to do it in segments, because otherwise if you colour it all, it'll be dry before you get it onto the paper. So just do it, as you can see that was even too long. So just do it a couple of leaves or a little bit of stem at a time and stamp it over. And I think this effect is, hopefully you can see that. I'll bring you down a little bit. Oh, sorry for the wibble. Bring you down a little bit so you can see that a bit better. Just a bit closer. So I'm just colouring in a leaf and a bit of stem and bringing it over. And we're sort of slowly building our way up and building a whole flower out of that way. If bits sort of don't get fully covered, you just go over them again. So here I am, I'm getting to the flowers at the top here, so I just have to be really careful, and forgive me if you can't see, just really careful just to bring my pen up to those flowers and no further. There we go, see there? This is really, it's almost like oil paint. It just gives it a whole different sort of feel to the stamp, which I'm really liking. Okay, so we've got that all the way up to the flowers. So that's all done there. And now I'll actually change colour. And so the closest I have to Grapefruit Grove is Cajun Craze. So here I'm using the light Cajun Craze. I'll just bring that in, see, it's pretty close. I don't think they actually do a blend in Grapefruit Grove. And so I'll just colour in a flower and stamp that. There we go. How do people think of that? It's pretty good, huh? So you could use this technique with any stamps that have the flower and the stems, or you know, in one piece, rather than just stamping it all the same colour. So I'm just colouring a little bit, stamping. Missing a bit there, which is that? That must be that one. Or is it that one? Sort of get you backwards and back to front. Must be that one. There we go. I might just do this one a little bit more. Yep. And that one a little bit more. It's not a quick process by any stretch, but I think you'll agree that it's quite, the outcome's quite nice. Okay, so that's that one done. Oh, that's really quite lovely there. Just bear with me and I'll destroy my craft room. I'll just bring my, just give that a bit of a wipe. I'll clean it properly after I've done. I just need to get the main bits off. Cool. Okay, so we'll leave that on there because we may come back to that for the second card I'm doing. So there we are. I'm going to use the framelit, she says, having put it down. I don't know where she's put it. Here we go. This is the framelit for the flower. So I'll just pop that through. Just bear with me for a second. I won't bring the big shot back in again. Just, this will take me 2 seconds. Well, the screw's just fallen out of a big shot. Does anyone else have that happen? I suppose it's a circular motion that you go through again and again, and my screw in the handle works its way out and then usually falls on the floor, and I have to scurry around on the floor for 20 minutes trying to find it. I'll do that after we finish. You guys don't want to watch me scurrying around on the floor from the screw of my big shop. But anyway, so there's our flower. I'll see if I can find, oh, found it. There is the offending article there. Where's my chamois? Yes, I know, my chamois dried out, as everything has in this craft room at the moment with the weather we're having. So I'll bring it back out again when the winter's here. Just seems like every time I reach for it, it's dried, which makes it a bit tricky to have it to use since the bathroom's so far away from my craft room. Anyway, so we've got, I should probably decide whether I'm going that way or that way. I think I'm going that way. And we can have our flower there to the side. Oh, and another one from this framelit set or thinlet set is this bow. I was so pleased. I don't know if anyone else out there is bow challenged, but I am particularly bad with bows. I'm all fingers and thumbs. I need to buy one of those jigs, I think. But this little bow may have saved me from years of embarrassment. So I'm just going to cut that out with some Grapefruit Grove. Oh, this little piece here is what you get on the inside of this one when you cut it out, see? And looking at it, I thought, wow, that looks like a sun. So I thought, well, I might have to think about how to use that sort of to, in a card with a sun or something, maybe the seasoned layers or something. It's quite cute. Anyway, this time I'm going to use it as a scrap to make a bow, so bear with me for a minute. This one's not going to be turned into a sun. Okay, so we have here, I'll find something to prick that out with. There we go. Now we have a cute bow. Isn't that the best? Okay, so I think we've got everything we need here. We've got our beautiful, seemingly hand-painted flower here. I'll accept that as a possibility, although we all know different. Got our sentiment. I better do that as well. We've got our flower, and I'll be popping that bow on there as well. I'll decide how far up to go. Anyway, so I'll stamp my sentiment. Where's my sentiment? I thought I'd use the beautiful Words Cannot Express on the outside. And here it is on a block. And I thought I would use, just to see how it goes, I haven't actually thought too far ahead. I thought I would use Grapefruit Grove ink. But let's see how it goes. I can always flip over if I prefer black. Yes, the bow is really cute. And I don't think I could draw, even if I did perfect bows, I don't know I could probably do one quite that fine as that one's come out. So anyway, I'll do this in Grapefruit Grove. You guys can tell me if you like it or not. And otherwise we can flip over and do it in another colour. So I'm just going to centrally put that and put it as straight as I can. Well, it doesn't matter, it's a circle, but as central as I can. Okay, what do we think? Is it nice in the Grapefruit Grove, or should I do it in black? I'll watch for some responses. I think actually, looking at it, I think I'm tending to black. What do you guys think? Just reading, evenly oil wash. I'll have to catch up with that. That looks like an interesting conversation. So you're giving washing advice, Angie. I'm going to have to definitely come back to that one. What do we think? Still waiting for, yeah, I think I'd prefer black. Oh, guys. We'll turn it over and do black on the other side, and then at least we'll have something to proper comparison. this weather's even drying out my inks as well. There we go, so there's black. So, are we still, what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Grapefruit, 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 black. I'll flip it, we'll see. Actually, I think I'm coming down on grapefruit myself, which I didn't think I would. I thought the black would fix into the black behind, but I think I actually like the grapefruit. Okay, so let's go with that. I can always change it in my next card. Okay, so we'll just assemble this. So I think I've decided I'm going to have that on the outside there. Okay, so what I might do is just add some glue around the very edge of my, I'm in uncharted territory here. I didn't get this far with my preparation, just on the very outside, and I'll position the little wreathy thing there. I'm going to get glue everywhere, Michelle. If not glue, ink. So I'll just position that so it's as even as I can. How's that? I think that's actually the easier way of doing it now. Look at that. She's like, Wendy, you've gone with the masses. Wendy's saying she likes the grapefruit now too. Yeah. No, it was against instinct, wasn't it, Wendy? I thought the black would be better also, but yep, I think we've gone grapefruit. I think we've made the right choice. I'm going to central that. Ooh. There. Make it as even as I can. There. Straight. I'm using my grey grid paper to straighten that. Get that down. Then my little flower off to the side. About there, guys. What do we reckon? Yep. Just pop a little bit of glue there. Now I think I went the dark, is that the dark Cajun Craze? Now that's actually the light Cajun Craze. Next time I do it, I might try pumpkin pie. I think that might be, because this has come out quite dark, even though it's the light. That's all right. Maybe pumpkin would have been better. You usually, yeah, Wendy, do not say that. That's independent thought, we call that. Independent thought should be encouraged. Okay, so we'll pop our flower there. There we are. Now a cute little bow. There, I might use a glue dot for that. Pop that on there. Can you guys see? I seem to have started working down towards my body a bit. There we go. I think I'll pop that. Oh, it can't be there because I'll pop that down the bottom there just so it doesn't cover any of my wording, but you still make it a highlight against the black. There we are. What do we think of that one? Just pop that on the base card with some glue. Love the way that shimmers in the light of the, it actually looks better, now I'm looking at my iPad, it actually looks better in the camera than it does in here in the craft room. That's really special. Okay, so we'll pop that on there. As I say, I've left the thinnest of black edges around there just to frame it a little bit. Glue, damn glue, there. There we go. So that's the outside compared to this one. There we go. This one I actually did that way. I don't know, I showed that to you before. This one I've gone that way. So let's do our inside. Carry the theme of the doilies into the card. Just get rid of that. So what I thought I might do for this, and to be honest, covering errors, you can see I've put a few of those little ones up the top here. That was only because I splodged lovely lipstick dye ink onto the white, but I think it's quite nice. It sort of gives it a random sort of appeal. Anyway, so sticking to the theme, I used the big one. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Get that off. This is the first stamp set that I've actually put the cling stickers on, so I'm taking a leap of faith. I don't usually put the stickers on things, but I have with this one, so we'll see. Well, some of them, I haven't put it on this one yet. We'll see how that goes. So with our ink, our Grapefruit Grove ink, this there. Now, the one in the other card is actually stamped off a little bit because we know what, yes, I saw Hannah. To be honest, you were one of the people that convinced me that it's a nice, Hannah was saying she used hers last week, and I saw it. You were one of the people that convinced me that it's a nice set, so thank you for that. More money to spend. I'll be sending you a bill. Okay, so I might just check and see how that looks stamped off. Yeah, I think I'll go stamped off once before I pop it onto the card. And then I'll just make sure I can see, you guys can see me. Just put one slightly off the edge. That's nice, isn't it? That's pretty. I do like this. I'm only joking, Hannah. I actually won't send you a bill. Oh! More rain coming through. Okay, so and then I thought we'd just use the tiny little one on a block and use that as just total, just stamp straight on, just around the place. Probably not as many places as I did on the other one because I haven't put Grapefruit Grove everywhere like I did with the other one. Okay, so with this one we've got words cannot express ... on the front, so we better choose something that the words are not expressing. So this stamp set's got some beautiful sentiments. We've got, move that out of the way before we have an accident. We have words cannot express how much your kindness touches my life, just how much you mean to me, and how very sorry I am for your loss. So I don't really think that that is a sympathy card by any stretch, so I don't think we want a loss. I think just how much you mean to me would probably be appropriate for that. Just how much you mean to me. And typically the grocery man has come an hour early and has pulled up outside, so I'm just going to have to finish this one and come back and do the other one in a part 2. I think this happened to me once before. They said they would be here at a certain time and ended up being an hour early, so I have to go and deal with the groceries. Great. Anyway, I'll get this finished while he mucks around in the back of his truck. And I might give him a card for being early. We'll pop that there, sort of down and to the side, I think would be nice. I don't muck it up because I've got distracted. There we go, just how much you mean to me. So I think that's really sweet. So that would be any sort of card really, wouldn't it? Any sort of occasion, birthday, anniversary, anything. Okay, so I will just glue that on the inside, and as I say, I will go and let my grocery man in and scold him for being early, and no I won't, and then I'll come back with the simple stamping card. I think this one was quite over the top, so I thought the next one I would hashtag simple stamp it, and just show you guys how versatile this Dear Doily stamp set can actually be. So as I say, those two are basically probably ready for Mardi Gras, I reckon, given that we've just had Mardi Gras. and I'll come back very shortly with something a little bit simpler. Okay, chat soon.